Hello, everyone. I'm David Coffey, Jackson County Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources for the University of Kentucky. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about your CAIP application and how to fill out your application. So when you come into our office or when you receive your CAIP application in the mail, if you request one, then you're going to get a CAIP application, which is going to look like this. You're going to get a best management practices sheet, which looks like this. And you're also going to get a sheet labeled important on the front of your packet. And we'll go over each one of these and what they're for. Okay, when you get your packet from our office or in the mail, it's going to look like this. This is just going to be a what you need to do kind of thing. It's like a checklist for you. Just should help you out with getting your application done, doing it correctly. It's got all kinds of tips on here for things that you should do, okay? Just read each one of those and make sure you do it like it says, okay? This is your best management practices sheet, which we'll refer to later. This is actually the application. So you're gonna make sure to put your name here, your last name here, your social security number. If you notice, it says required. If we get this application in and it has no social security number on it, it is automatically put out. So make sure to put your social security number. You're gonna put your address, your email address if you have one, not required, your phone number, cell phone number if you have one. We also require a farm serial number and the county of the farm. These are two more blanks that if you are not filled out, then this can get your application thrown out. So we want to make sure and put a farm serial number and the county of the farm. Okay, if you have a tax ID, you can put that there. Farm address if it's different than your home address, and whether your farm is in multiple counties or not. Okay, also, this is very important, for 2020, we require an Agriculture Water Quality Act. So you need to make sure that you either have one on file, which most should, or you want to fill one out and turn it in with your local soil conservation office. Okay. And the next question is whether you will be applying for funds in another county, and who else in your household will be applying for funds in this county or another county. So if that's the case, you need to list those in the county that they're applying in. Okay, only one individual per household can receive CAIP funds, and it wants to know if you're a tenant farmer, which means are you leasing the land where you're doing your improvements at. So we need to know that also. New for this year also is that if you file a Schedule F on your taxes, then you need to provide a copy of that with your application when you turn it in. That is new for this year, so make sure you do that. Okay, we can only use funds in the county where they are approved. Okay, so here, the rest of the application is similar to what it used to be. You need to check the answer that best describes your past participation statewide in County Agriculture Investment Program cost-share funds for the past 5-year program years, okay? So this is how many times that you've received cost-share in the past 5 years. Once, twice, 3 or more, or never. You need to check one of those boxes. All right, in the previous program year, which would have been last year, which best describes your program, what you did last year in the program. So did you complete a project? Did you applied but was not approved or did not apply? Were you approved but did not complete your project? Or were you approved for funding but notified by the administrator that you would not use the funds? That means that you called the administrator and told them that you were not going to use the funds. Were you placed on a waiting list and did not receive funds? Or were you placed on a waiting list and later approved but did not complete your project, okay? The reason this is in a box is because the administrator can change these answers if they need to, okay? Also, if you have a question about these, you can call our office or the administrator and they can answer that question for you. Okay, the next questions are pretty straightforward. Have you been a resident in Jackson County for 5 years? Have you managed a farm in Jackson County for 5 or more years? At the time of the application, how long have you shared financial risk in participating in the business of the operation of the farm? And did you file a Schedule F for agriculture purposes in the previous year? Like I said, if you answer yes to this, then you have to include that with your application when you turn it in. Okay? You want to mark the statement that best describes your level of tobacco dependency. This would be whether you owned a quota, your son or your father or mother owned a quota, or if you never grew tobacco. And have you added any new farming enterprises, modified an existing farming enterprise, or added a new practice within 5 years of the date of this application? If you've added a new farming enterprise, then you need to list what that farming enterprise was in this blank right here. If you have any questions about what can qualify, call myself at the extension office or the administrator. Okay, do you keep production records for your farming enterprises? Do you keep record keeping software for your farming enterprises? That means something electronic, Excel spreadsheet, some kind of app or something that helps you keep up with your records. Have you increased your farm income by selling value-added products? If yes, what type of products? Now, I know some people have listed background and calves and stuff on here before. It has to be something special. So background and calves will not count, but a CPH 45 cell calves will count, okay? There's also this gray area shows the value-added definition. You can read that and kind of help you with what you're doing. And do you have a marketing plan for your operation? And did you soil test within the last 24 months? Now this one I can answer for you. If you want to call me, I can tell you if you've done a soil test in the past 2 years because I have that information at my office. Now, number 13, we're going to refer back to our best management practices sheet because this wants to know you can list up to 6 best management practices for your farming operation. So if we look back at our best management practices sheet, for example, if you have livestock and you do planned grazing, then you will list livestock BMP number 1, okay? So that would be here, you would just write livestock BMP number 1. And that makes it a lot easier for the people who are scoring these applications to know that you are actually doing these best management practices instead of just writing, something down or write, rotational grazing. Well, that may not be exactly right. If you're doing planned grazing, though, it is. So that's why we want to just write the best management practice number down there from this list if that's something that you're doing, okay? Okay. So, have you updated your agriculture water quality plan in the past 5 years? You can check with the Soil Conservation Office and they can answer that for you. Are you a member of a county, statewide, national commodity group, cattleman program, poultry, swine, any of the commodity groups? The Jackson County Cattlemen's Association counts for that. If you have any questions about that, you can contact myself or the administrator, and that can tell you whether those will fit into this answer right here. And then it also asks if you're in a leadership role. If you answer yes here, then they want to know if you're in a leadership role on this one. Are you currently subscribed to the Extension newsletter? If you get my newsletter, then yes, you are. Did you attend a financial leadership marketing-based education session within the last 12 months? If you completed any of our extension programming that deals with financial leadership or marketing-based education, then you can answer yes to this and you would have to list it. So if you want to know if the program you went to falls into these, or when you went to those or something like that, or what you can list here, then just give me a call at the extension office and I can answer that for you. Are you currently a Kentucky Proud member? All right. Have you hosted an on-farm demonstration, field day, or informational workshop within the last 24 months? Once again, they want the date, they want the type. If you think that you have, then call me and I can get that information for you. It would be very few people that have. Did you attend a CAIP producer information meeting for the current or previous program year? So I'm going to have 3 of these in January that are going to be on Zoom. So you can, if you want to attend those, then you can mark yes here, but you have to attend that program and we have to have that you signed in on that program in order to count this. So during the application period, there will be 3 of these meetings that are on Zoom. You can join by your phone or by the computer and get credit for those. Okay, so there's 130 total points possible for your application. And on here, you're going to select no more than 3 investment areas. So let's say you're thinking about buying a bull. Well, you would check here, and you would also want to circle no more than 2 from the 6 types of bulls listed right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you're gonna circle no more than 2 of those for the type of bull that you're gonna buy. Now, in order to buy this type of bull, he has to meet those EPDs that are listed for that area. So you're going to want to contact myself or the program administrator. There is an online tool called the Bull Assessment Calculator, and we will determine whether that bull meets those guidelines. If the bull does not meet those guidelines, then the bull is not eligible to be received for cost share funds. So you really need to check with us before you buy your bull and let us run the EPDs and make sure that he will meet the guideline areas. Okay, so farming infrastructure, if you're building a building or something, and then any of these, but you can check no more than 3. Okay, so you can only check 1. If you know that you're going to buy a bull, you just check 1 and do a bull. But there are these 11 investment areas. Okay, and any of those are eligible, so they are all priority number 1 on our funding, which means that every area receives the same amount of money. So just make sure that you check the ones that you're interested in doing. Okay. Now, this part right here is very important too. We have to have your signature on this back page. Okay? If we do not have your signature, then your application can get thrown out. So we got to make sure we have that signature. Okay? Then the rest of this is producer guidelines. We have several pages that kind of give you some information about, maybe what you need to know, certain questions and anything. And like I said, and also the program areas. But it's very important that if you have a question about this or something, that you call us and let us know that you are needing to, that you call us and let us know that you need help with the question. So other than that, it's pretty straightforward, but the most important parts to remember is that front page and your signature. So on your front page, we have to have your social security number, your farm number, and the county of your farm. And then on your back page, we have to have your signature. That is the 4 things that you really need to have. And that's going to be listed on this important sheet. You're going to really want to go through this and make sure that you've done everything that's listed on there and pay attention to everything that's said on there. So I hope that this helps you with filling out your CAIP application. If you have any questions, give me or the administrator of the program a call. And thanks for watching.